Yet another Zephyrian 66 is the first opponent in the first week of the 32nd Grand Arena season, which is 3 versus 3. That have been a lot of numbers, and have been a mouthful, so I hope you could follow me. Also, sorry for being a bit late with another video and I didn't have posted any of the final 5 versus 5 week videos. Not because I went 2 in 1, but because I had problems with recording stuff and didn't really feel motivated to make videos out of it. Sorry. But also because a lot of stuff have been going on in my private life. So yeah, I felt not like doing that. But now I will try to cover all the matches from this season, which could be an interesting one because of the datacrons that are out, because of the new fleet Profundity that is out as well. And so looking forward to the season, even though I'm not really trying to, going top 10 anymore like I used to in the past. Those days are long gone. I just wing it, which I also did in this match. So this was the first battle. Almost a classic now. Qui-Gon Jinn seems to be on defense duty quite a lot these days with Cam and Anakin. And in this case, I was faster considering we both had a 25% TM Omicrons applied. So it felt okay taking this match. Sometimes it can go south. Doesn't even have to be that when you're slower, then it always goes south. But sometimes even when you're faster, it can go south. But this time it went well. 66 banners, lost one, but that was okay. And by the way, I think because of this duty that Cam is on now, the defense duty, you can also apply his what is it, Omega, like the taunt Omega, because it makes the cleanup a lot of trickier, or this match trickier as well. Second match against CLS, taking in one of my favorite counters to that right now. Used to be Viridian, but I think this one is a bit easier. Not so, if you have to watch your heart rate or something, this one feels simpler and easier, just like taking Iden with range and Death Trooper, which I think is the best combo when you play them offensively in freeze at least. As you can see, not full banners, but close, and was quite simple, so it doesn't matter what datacron is applied. Then there was Amalgus. This is all Southwall battles, and of course has this all shenanigans level 9 datacron, so I wasn't really sure what to take in initially. Like I will try to experiment with this over the season, but here I felt okay with taking in Kylo Ren, which is a bit also like chickening out, right? So because I think it's not per se the safest option, but it's one of the safer options. I guess other GLs also can take this out, depending on which ones you're considering to take. C might have a hard time, but JMK could have an easy time because you can take out Malgus right away with Cat. So yeah, but in this case, I felt like just playing it like I would potentially do in 5s. So bring the Kylo Ren. It's also good banners usually. And the other reason was I wanted to see like what other GLs can do versus another GL which was on defense, which is Lord Vader, but we'll get to that in a bit. And as you can see, this battle is kind of straightforward. Didn't even have to use my ult here, so lost 3 banners overall, I guess, but that was okay. Then went in against Lord Vader. There was Thrawn and Maul. If it wasn't been that comp, I would have potentially taken in Fennec with Bosk and Grief, or Bam and Grief, but Bam was on defense this round. So I tried to play it conservative in that sense, and taken JMK. Not 100% conservative. I think conservative would have been if I was just have taken Supreme with a Kylo Ren with a bot and maybe a tank. That would have been like the conservative route because you can get through. But I just want to see how it works, how this counter is affected by the level 9 datacron that Lord Vader had, which of course had the cooldown reductions on level 6, and I think also the 5% mastery increase when you crit several times. And I forgot the exact level 9 stats, but it was something good, right? So again, Lord Vader Datacron is a little bit broken. I have it myself too, at least for this first week. For the second week, I also have the level 9 for Darth Vader with the revive. And I have a level 9 for Dash with the bonus term. That's the Datacrons I have. I don't have that many. I try to have less, but then really good ones, and not like, you know, having like 20 of these. I have seen rosters with like crazy amounts of Datacrons, which I guess was quite expensive, I'd say. And I think my second week opponent had quite a lot of, or my second match, sorry, had quite a few of these. Anyway, so this went southwell, as expected. To be honest, I was like halfway in the battle. I was like, okay, this might be a loss because it's very hard to chew through Lord Vader when he constantly can do his stays, get dots, and do all that kind of shenanigans. So, and as a cleanup, I felt, yeah, let's take in Fennec. Let's see what happens here. No sides applied, so why not? And so far so good. I think Panic still can work also as a one-shot if there's no wall involved, which for me was the main problem, because has been a high chance of taking out Bosk right away. So I'm close here, also on red, and then I make a mistake, which will happen I think quite soon. Not here. Here's the mistake. Should have, I didn't see the days on Fennec. I tried to call for assist, to do the mass assist, which didn't happen. And I should have cleansed, and then I would have had a next option to do basic with Fennec, and then I could take out Lord Vader. So that was a misplay, unfortunately, which cost me that battle, which then spirals into a little bit of a cleanup mess, because I tried to not use expensive teams, and had a feeling, okay, what can I take? I need some heavy hitters, I need a contract maybe, so bounty hunters, they can do stuff. I was trusting Sign of Django to do something because he does extra damage or like more damage when there is no protection on the enemy, which is the case. But yeah, if dodge is involved as well, it goes south so fast. Wanted to have ability block, that's why Django was here, not Boba, sorry. And I used Dengar because his contract is quite easy to trigger. So yeah, didn't really work, as you can see. Lost all of them, and so I had to clean up again. So next thing I tried, because it was in red, maybe Padma can do something. I know Courage doesn't do anything against Lord Vader, but I had a feeling that maybe if I can line up some hits and the assists from Ahsoka when I can cleanse days, might help, because I was a little bit misled by the red health. As you can see, he doesn't heal so much because he's prioritizing the AoE over this move, but it doesn't really help. So didn't also try to X out, but didn't work. So had now to deal with a yellow one, yellow health, Lord Vader. If that wasn't the case, this would have been the perfect cleanup. And so I was thinking it could work. It's small, it has 5 stacks of anguish, he's getting some extra damage from Canderous. So this should work, right? And I took in Ward just to get Frenzy out. And also to help Canderous to stay cleansed from debuffs so that he can assist. And as you can see, getting there, but also quite slowly. I'm not sure what exactly is happening here. It also almost feels like you're healing. Yeah. Lord Vader a little bit. I guess it might be the reason. Either there is this one Datacron that kind of does this weird stuff when you have dots applied, or it was just a mastery increase that kind of helps Lord Vader here, because he's in constant red, but doesn't really get any lower, even though I have like 3 stacks of anguish here. Yeah, it feels like nothing, you know. Look at him. The needle isn't moved. Water is gone already. So I felt like, okay, this should be it, should be enough. But then Canderous is at risk of dying here, especially because the ult was triggered. But luckily he didn't. But now he does, and so he's gone as well. And now it's Maul versus Lord Vader. And I was giving up as well because there was no point. And so I had to do what I didn't want to do. I had to use a GL on this, which I wanted to avoid. and showcases again that in some battles you have to be like just on point with your gameplay and also just like mentally there. So if I wouldn't have done the mistake with Grief, this Lord Vader would have been long gone. But just also shows sometimes it's just like one mistake, one is enough, you know. So these Datacrons and those characters are not forgiving. And so I have to use a very strong team, essentially 2 teams, because JKR is a team on his own, to clean this up. Then there was the last South 4 battle, it was Mon Mothma. And I felt comfortable taking in Wampa. I have no real explanation for this other than I trusted Wampa, which sounds very scientific. No, you can beat this team with Wampa in 5s, and I so felt like maybe it's also enough in 3s, which sounds weird, but sometimes some counters are less risky in 5s as in 3s. I personally find that when it comes to solos. And here it's close, so you can see Wampa was close, and here I prioritized the basic because of the health steal over the roar, just to get him back from yellow to green. And at this point I was not sure if it was the right decision, if it was maybe a waste, but just decided to push through, see what happens. And of course, with Kara, as always, when the Zeta is applied, there is a risk of timing out. You have to, yeah, it sounds weird, time the kill of her, so that potency up needs to be gone. Then you can kill her, which is risky, especially in 3s again, because you have less targets to hit. So sometimes you're just forced to hit her. Also, especially when she taunts. When there's a second tank which taunts in between, it's easier, right? So overall, a kind of risky battle actually, but I still felt good doing it. I was just like, Wampa will have this, he's got it. And again, almost dead, but health steal is saving me. So again, yellow, health steal, and suddenly they were gone. So 58, never in question. And so this was a north wall battle. I didn't go directly for the back wall. I want to clear this first to get to ships, and then just use my teams on the back wall to clear the whole thing. That was the plan at least. But again, here are some decisions in this match which are horrible on my part. Not prioritizing the basic from our friend Basti here, just to keep ability block on Ray was the one thing. The other thing was that I was waiting for the right time to trigger my ultimate. Kind of here that was okay. Here I missed it. Should have done it. Somehow I didn't. I don't know exactly why, and so I lost Hoda, because I think my head was somewhere else. As I said, a little bit weird times for me right now, so I was, sometimes it's a little bit like, oh, what am I even doing here? And yeah, now weird timing to use the ult, right? It's better to wait for the other way to go into ult and then trigger mine. No, I do it in between. Why? I have no idea. I can't explain you. Just like a brain fart. But still okay. I can take this ult, no problem. It's not like we have to deal with those crazy datacrons anymore. And so it felt good. Anyway, the question is, what is the best datacron for Ray? You can apply the 20% datacron or whatever you want. Potentially it's just best to put Bam on the team and another Scoundrel, or I don't know, maybe Hoda, or even Armorer. Or even though Armor wouldn't do much. So IG 11 maybe, and Bam. And just like with the datacron that he resets his like cooldowns, and so maybe to keep IG alive all the time. Not sure. Yeah, so I lost because I played horribly, and then I felt like, okay, I can clean this up. I have a Darth Vader. It's just like 2 targets I can hit here, so the datacron of the cooldown reductions doesn't do too much, but there's still a chance to clean up Ray. And the nice thing about the situations when you play so bad, you don't really think about things anymore. So of course there's a risk of going tilt, but you also just play more careless, which sometimes is like you play better. Just like, you know, just go for it, just to see what happens. And very often this is the best approach, instead of overthinking stuff and just like then freaking out because it doesn't work. And he's like, yeah, I think this can work, so just do it. And this is also like my approach to Grand Arena right now. So if I lose, it's okay. If I win, it's okay. It's just I really have given up on this competitive stuff. And I know like there are some players and also content creators who are always like, they're enjoying this because you have to think more tactical now, more strategical about things. Here I used the things, booms, by the way, the Star Destroyer, because I wanted to heal them before the ultimate comes, so they can, if I wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have survived that. So, and so still can kill this whole thing. Yeah, going back to that, I think if you're not a heavy spender, I spend a lot of money on this game, but I'm not crazy enough to spend like so much money on Datacrons that I'm going bankrupt or something like this. Like, and when I see other accounts, I really wonder where their money is coming from. Happy for them, but it's just a sign for me I cannot compete with this, and I don't want to, and so I just wing it. So, and other content creators might be different, and make a fuss about it, but I don't care as much anymore. Yeah. So then there has been this team which used to be like interesting a few seasons back. It's still interesting, but Troopers, yeah, almost felt like overkill, but it was a good overkill. Then Redders, who can be a problem, of course, but I found that CLS is quite reliable as a counter, especially considering the Datacrons you can have for CLS. Of course, you have to pay attention. Sometimes this girl brings Redders back, and then it can get a little bit more problematic, but in this case, it wasn't really a problem. And then Datacron, it was so funny, sorry. So I didn't really have an advantage here because the 25% turn meter on this team, Datacron, so then with the turn meter from BB-8, you get like the 16% for 2 droids. There was no way I could spit this out, so I felt like, Dash might handle this, and I had the feeling he could have soloed this whole thing. Just because he is so damn good. Here again, I was slower, so I trusted the Jedi to take a turn before it gets really dicey. And it was okay. JKL is kind of beefy, and he's kind of good. Like, I'm almost at 15k offense on him, thanks to like adjusting, like what is recalibrating the mods that we have. So he's getting better by the minute, so to say. And now my objective was to get back some banners, which almost didn't happen, but now it happened. So I think it was again 57 exactly. So it was also good. So there's some teams where it doesn't really matter that they have an advantage in terms of TM gain in the beginning, like this as well. Treya doesn't care as much about it. Or when you have the dash Datacron, doesn't matter if he goes second, as long as I don't kill him, and for that you have also for that you also have, sorry, I was just called by someone. It was super distracting. I won't cut that out. For that you also have, go back, Wanda Chewbacca on the team, and with the bonus turn from Dash, and he does quite some damage now. It really isn't a problem. And I also took my Dash to R9. It was just like, I have an R9 which wouldn't hurt me if I just do it, apply it, and so I did it on Dash, and not because of the ship, but just for fun, and it's also good for the ship, of course. Luxury problem, or a luxury to have, I should say. Yeah, Treya versus Shark isn't really a problem, as you've seen, so I didn't feel I have to comment a lot there. And this was the Omicron on TIE Fighter Pilot, but the rest of the team didn't really scream damage dealer to me. So I felt like Ness can handle this, there's no real threat here. And so another solo, almost there. Still almost there. Come on, Nest, do your thing. Yeah, so there. 58, so that was quite easy. The TIE Fighter Omicron disappointed in a little bit. It isn't that good because you always have to sacrifice something. In Freeze it's pointless because you need the characters and you just not have enough. You don't have a tank, or you have no damage dealer on the team, so you have to always pick and choose the characters, and it's really bad what you do, doesn't matter. And in 5s it's too expensive because you want to have Hux there and potentially crew and also Sith Trooper. And yeah, so you have to give up stronger first order teams. Then this is the last North Wall battle. There was Inquisitorius, as you can see, and I had C left, which felt good, and also wanted to try the Omicron that I have applied on this guy, and it feels quite good. I have to say. I don't know what he actually does, because I was too lazy to read it after I applied it. I was reading up on it in the beginning, but it's been a while, and I think it's really good. I really recommend it. I'm still thinking about modding him the right way. Right now he's on offense health, but I guess you should go for health on him. Or offense at health set with health primaries everywhere. Then we're in ships. I want to clear this before I clear the south wall, just to see what kind of banners are possible to get in ships, and not to worry about it, because sometimes it's just more relaxing. And as you can see, I tried Profundity against Executor, and sad thing, or the what sad thing, it's just a thing about this fleet is if the opening goes wrong, I haven't yet found a way to recover from that successfully. So if you don't take out Xanadu in the beginning, or take out the right ships in the beginning, depending on the starting lineup, it's just horrible. And if there is no Xanadu, you really know what to do. So it felt weird. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a hit and miss meta right now. If everything goes fine, you only need those 4 ships you see here. Not even those 4. Don't need even not Biston. What's his name? Biggs. Sorry, gosh, butchering the names here left and right. You just need Millennium Falcon, then Dash Ship, this Y-Wing, and Cassian's U-Wing. That's all you need to get full banners, like full protection. And if things go south in the opening of the battle, you just lose. So at least it's my experience. That tells you a lot about inexperienced I am with this fleet as of now, because I didn't really have a chance to test it in arena, because it's just seeing the same fleets over and over again, and yeah. So lost this one, so which felt like dicey. I have to clear this fleet and still have to clean up other fleets. And so I took in Finalizer to clean up this Executor, which is okay, can be dicey. I wasn't really sure, but I tried my best. And of course, first priority was to take out IG, because it's just annoying with his double tap and stun and that kind of stuff. But also, yeah, the ability blocks that Clef 1 can give out are also annoying, and so I just, had to juggle things a bit around. Luckily got him out, luckily close to taking out Slave 1 as well, and got a bit ability block here, which that's why I gave like turn meter to Silencer, that they can ability block Hounds too, so the taunt does get in the way. Then I can land evasion down, so that equals out evasion up, and so I was quite confident that I might be able to take out Houndstooth before they do something weird. Taking out Slave 1 here, call to assist to stun Razor Crest. Didn't land, unfortunately, but now having to deal with the taunt and also healing up, so that was unfortunate. Giving TM basic because foresight, so would have missed the big hit anyway. Losing Ebonhawk here, which is okay, and I wasn't sure what to do, calling in this guy, mainly for the call to assist and stun and ability block, which both landed, and so big hit and almost trying to get it out. Houndstooth, but close to it, so now it's done. And so I feel quite confident that I can clean this up without having to again use a third fleet. So mass assist almost gone, and now it's gone, and 45 banners, which was okay for cleanup. Then using my own Executor versus what's his face, Negotiator. I could have used Finalizer here, but I didn't have one chip that I would have needed for this, which was Cassian, so prefer to have that. Or what you also can use is Ebonhawk, which I used on Finalizer anyway, but I haven't played this in a while, and so I didn't want to take any risk, and I felt more comfortable using Finalizer versus Executor than Finalizer versus Negotiator, which sounds weird. But it is what it is. So, trying to clean this up or like one-shot this whole thing, which shouldn't be a problem. Trigger my contract, like the second bit of it. Can use this bomb, taking out their win condition, Anakin, and other than that, yeah, pretty straightforward. It still can go south or use banners, which is the nature of Negotiator. It's just the banner slipper if you don't have the chance to blow it out of the water right away, or like early enough. Then it cancels the banners as it did here, and so it's only 70 banners overall, but it was still fine. And then using my own Negotiator versus the Raiders fleet, I still have to figure out what to do with Akbar right now, because the what's his face, Raven's Claw is still 6 stars, 5 stars for me, 5 stars I believe, because I'm slow farming it, and I have to figure out what to do with the fleet and what is capable of taking care of. Not trusting it too much, to be honest. I really feel like the expense of profundity, like really, yeah. So Akbar took a hit at the after profundity came in, which is unfortunate because Executor didn't really hit any other Empire fleets. So of course you can use Empire ships with the Executor, but you don't have to, and so that's the bit of a downside. So you got a good fleet, but you lost a also good fleet, very good fleet actually, with Home 1. So I have to see how this works out. That was fleets, and then I went to the South Wall. There were 2 more teams, and I forgot to record one team, but more on that later. This is a classic battle. There wasn't too much of stat boost on this Datacron, and so I felt like, yeah, Geos without Datacron. Oh, there is a Datacron, but nothing really major. I think there was a little bit of like crit chance or something on it. It's just basic stat boost. Should help. It's a very straightforward battle. The only thing to take care of is sniping out Red Trooper first. So you use Geobrute, Soldier, and Spy. Dispel the taunt from crew, and then you kill with the first picket from Spy. You kill Red Trooper. After that, you have to dance a little bit around. The next hit target is Kylo Ren, the guy with the mask, because he has the AoE, which is annoying. And after that, you just farm Kylo Ren unmasked. You just do basics or whatever. Just don't use the picket from Spy. Wait till you get this move from Brood Alpha. Ideally, you have enough time to wait for it to come around another time, so you can full heal, full up, have full protection, and then just use the picket from Spy, and it's usually enough to take out crew. My Spy is Relic 8, I believe. I was considering putting him to Relic 9 at some point, because, yeah, if Relic 10 really benefits attackers, you have to Relic 9 them anyway, so if you have a benefit from that, we will see. Just put it on your attackers now and to golden after, so that's at least my philosophy for putting out Relic 9s. So I had for helpful protection, and so I went for it and took out crew, and this is the final results. So I won by some points, too lazy to do the math now, but my opponents talk a little bit like on my defense, as you can see. So that was the first match. Was good to start with a victory, and see you in the second one soon. Thanks, bye.